Your morning wake-up call from Western Australia. Okay, we are going to do the reading for the joint connection for your twin flame path. The masculine, feminine, and karmic will be up Monday, Australia time. Okay, so those will be out. If you want to view them ahead of time, you can go through to the members, and they're there usually ahead of time, which I will be recording the next volume. We do week-by-week updates, and we also have a subscription via my website. And that covers you week by week. So they were out last night at 10 p.m. And all volumes are ready to go, thank God, because I've got to get on to August now. And then on to the updates for the star signs. I'll be recording them next week. Talk about cramming and unpacking. Anyone else in the thick of it? So let's have a look. What is coming through for the connection? How are we all doing? Like I said before, Chiron is going retrograde as of the 19th. It's already in shadow. So if you've got all that Aries energy, hi Dale, all up in your grill and it feels tense like a pressure cooker and you've got to go, 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 I wouldn't be surprised. Some of you might become more hungry, but it's more than likely dehydration. I'm just going to tell you, all right? So try, it could be social. You might be getting a lot of things done and you're rushing. You're also going to find that everything is taking so much longer. That's because Mars is in Taurus. So you're going to be needing to look at things from a very practical point of view because Jupiter will go retrograde at the end of the month. And some of those things might not be so sustainable, I'll be like, I can do it. And then you'll be like, oh, crap. And most of us are thinking, no, we can't do it. But it's more about being realistic. Spiritually, big changes happening in divine masculine's life at the minute, which I do cover in the subscription on the website. If you wish to view, I do have a discount for a trial pack if you want to just give it a trial run. And that covers you for the star signs as well as the twin flame week by week. Bear with me. I'm getting the cards ready. We're going to get a Runecast as well. So we'll let you know I'm pulling them here. Right. We do have the super chats at the end of the session for those of you who are entering the house now. They are at $20 due to the fact that we get money taken from us, unfortunately. Well, it's a joint connection. It's a contract between YouTube and us. So masculines, interesting. Okay, feminines, you guys are, well, we could be a little bit, how could I say it? Don't come at me with BS, but just remember that's because there's this feeling that you won't be able to say no, and you can say no, okay? Can be a lot on your plate right now. I do believe feminines at the moment are in a lot of masculinity, even though the emotion is coming out like Lilith. I do believe feminines are embodying a masculine energy at the moment, especially with Mars and Taurus. It's almost like we might feel, how could I express it? I can't say slow to anger, which usually, hi Andrew, usually you'll find Mars and Taurus is like a long distance runner. It's like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali actually has that in his birth chart, which is Mars and Taurus. That's why he was very good at what he did. Slow, resilient. But the other transits, with Aries and Chiron, it might be that we're unhashing those things that we've pushed down for a long time. And always say, don't be sweeping things under a carpet. Don't be using that black book because it's addictive. And Lilith's in Cancer at the moment. So we have a potential. And this is what we have to understand. It's not that we're directly bad. It's that these things could simmer to the surface. So it could be, look, I took the trash out. Why didn't you? You could be having dramas with your children. For those of you that are single, you might be pulled in different directions with your family at the minute. There could be this security kind of dynamic that's coming up. I need to be, security conscious. I've got to hold on to this, got to hold on to that. Some of you might be clearing your homes and, trying to make things about. Okay. Whew. Okay, things are looking a little bit moody. Those I would say, I'm going to take this off because it's a little bit too bulky. It's very cold here in Western Australia at the moment, which means it's not going to rain. But rain will be present because as Juno, the marriage asteroid, goes retrograde during the month, it is a big test. A lot of us that do know a little bit about astrology know that whenever Juno goes retrograde or direct, I have always in my twin flame path had something bloody major happen. And I generally had communication. I've had makeups, breakups. It is in the house of Pisces, which is 12th house. And so the divine masculines, spiritually speaking, it was a little bit like this deep dive descent into their psyche, trying to really come to terms with things. For the feminines as well, you know, how that directly has impacted you in this waiting. So it did feel a little bit like the first 5 to 6 months was a little bit of a holding gate. Neptune now is retrograde, but you can find that patterns can come in off pacifiers while those individuals are directly meditating upon what action to take. Okay, both parties in the mix here are kind of looking at this situation with critical eyes. And look, it could be positive. This could be positive. It might be where the rose-colored glasses have come off. The nostalgia of missing the person most definitely is here. And that's coming through on both sides. But you're almost looking at it like, okay, where's the red tape at? Is it a financial situation? Is it the person's directly inside of a karmic relationship and they would need to leave that in order to get to you? But it does feel as though there is a little bit of red tape that you're directly looking at. We do run the risk of being a little bit vindictive at the moment. So we need to be cautious to not feel that kind of animosity that could creep in the circumstances. Both parties could be dealing with a contract as per se at the moment. Some of you could be thinking, am I able to actually disconnect from the spiritual? And you technically, you're going to hate me if I tell you, but from my experience over the 25 years, once you integrate and you've done the healing, you know, when you're away from that person, you're integrating, right? When you are separate, the question you do get to a point on is, how would I get out of this contract and how could I mentally and emotionally get to a point I could have a person in my life that resonates with me? You can, but you do tend to find higher into, depending on what wave you are, those ascension symptoms are a real jerk. So it's really heavy. So it's almost like, how would you function inside any connection? Because you're trying to control the energy. So it wouldn't matter if you were with Arthur, Martha, May, you're going to feel energy. And so it is like you're developing your psychic gifts as an empath and controlling what you let in and how you flush out. So when it does come in, my best advice as a psychic medium and a twin flame, and a lot of YouTubers won't promote this, but this is what worked for me, and this is where I reached my personal union and the union, is there was codependency on the 4D. Because I was constantly, as the empath, trying to support, love, light, yet my tower was always falling down. So I did notice a holding pattern, and it was that I was mapping out what he would need to do, how he would need to react to me, what pieces of those puzzle would need to shift. And when we do that, we're actually owning it like it's a job, okay? Because it's the control that we feel we didn't have, that we feel if we do, and we've, you know, kind of mapped it out 101 ways, that somehow subconsciously we're safer. Okay, that's not real. It's just a pattern. So there was this feeling at a point that you guys had walked through the door and there was never any going back. And I do feel some of you could be coming out of that you're kind of realizing that it's just different chapters. Okay. I do feel some of you have been like, divine masculine feels as though you're walking out the door. Divine feminine wants to walk out the door, but at the same time kind of feels we don't quite know what this next cycle is going to be. In the heart of it, there is a happy outcome. There could be a little bit of rebellion coming from divine feminine. And how can that look? It might be where you're super high vibe all of a sudden, and then you're like, look, I'm going to party, I'm going to have fun, which we are. We're going to have a great life. But it can sort of be where it's quite flighty. It's 1 minute, you know, feeling a little bit nostalgic and down, and, you know, The next minute, it's almost like, no, I'm fancy free and I'm happy and I know it, you know. So there is this also feeling of, were you appreciated? Did that person appreciate you? Were you used? And again, it's coming from Lilith and Cancer, where we're feeling, okay, did that person actually honor and like everything I gave to them? Did they appreciate it? And the thing is, we need to look at ourselves and not as a transaction. That's one of the biggest lessons I had in my twin flame path, is as an impact, it was how much can I give? And therefore, if I gave, does that mean I'm getting back? And it was 9 times out of 10, it was like polar opposite. No, you know, he hadn't ever acquired that of me, but I was giving it due to my conditioning in my childhood. So, you know, the 9 of Cups in the mix of it is that there is, you know, you could be potentially looking at, you know, how beautiful this could be. You could also be looking at, you know, the loyalty and the commitment that you've given it to this person. Why would they choose a situation that potentially isn't healthy for themselves? It is usually so they can see both sides of the fence, so they can see light and dark, and what's healthy and what's not. And it doesn't mean to say at the time that you were directly with your twin, or currently where you stand with your twin, because I do read for the collective. So you could be with your twin, you could be in disconnection. We all still experience vibrations, especially those of us that are in union. We just deal with our ascension symptoms differently. So there is this abundance coming and there is this happiness, but it is the self-worth dynamic that is cropping up at the moment of, like, you know, was I taken advantage of? Does this person appreciate me? Where is this mix at? So I feel both parties in the mix are deeply meditating. Divine masculine is appreciating you. Sometimes they can say the most strangest things. I definitely know a dear friend of mine who is a twin flame. She, you know, I've had a lot of twins in the last 2 weeks that have said they've had communication with their twin. And even those that were in connections were having, you know, tedious dramas. And that's due to the fact that Neptune did move retrograde, and that's landing over their 12th house, okay? So even those of us within unions had that psychology coming out to review so that it can be transformed. It's almost like you feel like you're having this rose-colored glasses coming off, you're looking at it, and then you're realizing, okay, that's quite not vibing. Something needs to shift about. So where it stands in the mix at the minute, if individuals are coming towards you and they're communicating, you need to try to take it more as a meditation out in the open. And I'm sure plenty of you have had a conversation with your twin and they're like, possibly I've gone off partnerships, I'm never going to be in a relationship, I'm very happy where I'm at, it would make sense right now, okay? That is going to shift, however, as we move further. It's not a permanency. Usually if that person is expressing it in that way, 100% the best advice I could give you is go, okay then, it sounds good. And then you step back like little Miss Muffet, sat on a tuffet eating her curds, and they don't get spooked, and you let them sit with that and don't call them back. Let them sit with it, and I can guarantee you in 2 weeks you'll get a phone call. So, but you've got to not control. You've got to allow them to embody that divine masculine and go, okay, that's what you wanted. That's fine. Okay, fair enough. And then as they move towards you, they'll start coming in and we've all been here. They'll talk like nothing has happened before. And how you're going. Just audio issues. Are there audio issues? Bloody hope not. Neptune's messing things up. And Mercury, I believe, is in Gemini. Do you realise Mars is going retrograde there? I'm not looking forward to that. Mars retrograde? You know what I mean? I had to go out and come back. So there is audio issues. It's cutting out. Jeez, take a minute. Is it working now? I don't know why. Now it's okay. Let me close the other windows. How about now? Nope means nothing to me. I don't understand. It just said. Seems okay. This is perfect for a video. This is a click off moment. Okay, let's get into it. I've closed the other windows and hopefully, I really don't like this microphone. I had to get a new one and I'm taking it back. I don't like it. Okay, just be careful though, because remember the super chats at the end, you need to be subscribed or you won't be able to be part of the super chat pretty much. If I go out and come back in, then it's good. I don't know. It's a brand new piece of equipment, Dale, so it won't be it's either there's a fault in the device, but a lot of people have been having issues with technology because of the transits. So it's a brand new device. Anywho, let's get into it. So I am seeing there is a change in direction here, but you're directly looking at what you would be wanting out of this connection and if this offer's going to be here. For some of you, there could be a family-related dynamic coming through. It also could be that they're in a physical relationship or healing from a previous relationship. Emotions really leading into this full moon that's coming up can be about an acceptance of leaving something, okay? Needing to leave something behind, needing to cut something off, but they're tapping into the emotions, and I feel they're needing to sit with their truths and sit with their feelings of how they directly feel about you. It's almost like this sixth sense that between you, you're both very well aware that you've gone through a lot in your life, and inside this connection, you're wanting harmony and justice, but it may be that there's ever so much going on at the minute that is just so, it's almost like upheaval. You know, it's trying to merge those two worlds. How are they going to match? And I think sometimes, yes, there's obviously the analytics of how we would get together, how we would bridge that gap. And I think we spend way too much time thinking about it. Obviously, it's important to look at those things, but there's always that unforeseen. And I think this is the pickle where the direct connection has been in. Both parties have sort of like a side of the coin that they've viewed life from. And so with your likes and dislikes and your fear of the past, it's sort of hindering the connection to a degree. But I do feel this situation is shifting. And I do feel very strongly for a pocket group of you, these individuals that potentially were in a karmic relationship, they're actually not happy with where they're at. They've already realized that they're going to have to address this, that they're going to be discussing this with the individuals. And no, these individuals don't have to be romantic partners. It can be an ending of a cycle relating to family, location, or a contract. Now, Divine Feminine is coming through, very matter of fact. And the funny thing is that a foundation level between you, both of you have a lot of crap on your plate. So the joint energy at a foundation level is the Ten of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords here, and we've got the King of Wands. Divine Feminine's pretty much saying, if you're coming for sugar, don't even waste your time. So it's not that the chemistry between the connection isn't there. Both parties, you know, really are looking at, that's all good and well, but we need a physical foundation here. There's a lot of things that need, you know, kind of moving around. And so Divine Feminine's pretty much like, look, I'm not, it's more, it's funny that it's coming through as a king, because what you're going to be attracted to at the moment is going to be a king. However, it doesn't mean to say we're always going to react as a queen. We're human, and that's perfectly normal. But to you, the way you have been viewing it to date, it has very much been a page, okay? Okay, left or right for masculines. Pick your poison. And you're going to have a lot of stalkers at the moment. So FYI, if you have all these people coming out of the woodworks at the moment, it is because Juno, the marriage asteroid, will be going retrograde. And we have also with the placements of Gemini at the moment, it can be some really shady behavior. So just be careful. There can be a little bit of stalkerish energy you may find. And this can be directly from your twin, but it also can be from shady individuals. You also may hear people saying things that you don't directly resonate with. And I'll just be really careful to not intercept. Just observe the behavior and be in your truth. And be cautious the way you respond to them. If it does trigger you, it's because something occurred to you. It's got nothing to do with the statement that they made, because collectively we are going to be quite triggered. Okay. Okay. So, well, I do think, regardless in the yin yang, right? Let's have a look. The masculines. Let me digest this. Okay, I am seeing that there is this feeling where if they have any health situations, this can be more habits, patterns, holding vices. They're also noticing that with them, for those of you that have been in communication, they're sort of looking at it from the point of view that they know that you're not doing the same old dance, that you're not wanting the same old dance. They're fully aware of it. That you do have some emotions that are coming up of feeling kind of left out in the cold. I would say that, if for those of you that had communication, it's almost they've got the PDF, they totally understand and they know that you're not putting up with that. And it's not that it's crap. Sometimes there is a direct situation and a reason why these things are happening. It could have been that there was paperwork involved. It might have been that there was a drama with a family member, or, there could be 100 things. So for some, I'm not necessarily feeling it's a situation that isn't directly real, okay? Merely the factors that are coming through for the divine feminine is physically frustrated with the stagnancy, and everything is taking so long. So it's really funny that we do now have Mars and Taurus, because it's literally about energy and time and what would be sustainable. And so if you feel you're hitting a wall, it's really asking you to go into the rabbit hole and go, okay, is this working for me? Has something in me changed? Is there something that I'm spiritually needing right now that isn't getting fed? Is my cup getting fed? Or am I directly giving my power away in the circumstance and pretending that it's, and whether it is or isn't acceptable, it always does then turn around and come back to us of what do you want to do with that right now, not what we can create in a change in a sense, but what we can create in a change inside ourselves. So it's about finding that bliss and honoring that feeling of what is coming up for you. I feel this potentially could come about in a fashion where it could even be a statement. You might be saying, hey, look, you need to get a move on, because I don't think necessarily this is to do with I don't want to be alone forever. I don't really feel that. It's the frustration that door is still open. Meanwhile, that person potentially could be still dealing with crap. Does that make sense? And that's then a choice. It's like, look, and it is a choice, but it's not, because on the spiritual realm, you have a spiritual connection. On the physical 3D, you have needs, and you have to try and integrate both. So when one is waiting, technically, are we waiting? No, we're observing a person healing, and we're deciding how much do I give an inch or do I give a mile in that circumstance. But I do feel in the mix of it, a statement might have been made. This could have been through your behavior. It might have been through your attitudes and the way you've been dealing with it. For some of you, it was a direct conversation. And it's pretty much, look, you better get a move on, because I'm getting really frustrated here, and I'm actually acknowledging the fact that spiritually I have so much more needs. Okay, does that make sense? Some of you may be getting people coming towards you in a sense of offering. I know even for me it's happened, and I'm like, I'm very traditional. I'm not saying I was always traditional, but generally I guess I really was. And really ironic, because I do wear a ring, and, these are in my friendship groups, people that I've, been friends with. It's my friends' brothers and things. And I was like, I even told my twin, I was like, okay, I've got to block this person. It's been going on for a while, and it's odd behavior. So you can have people coming towards you. Divine masculine is looking like, oh my gosh, I feel, you're probably going to move on. I know I'm running out of time. I really need to level up. The good thing is, with Mars moving into Taurus, they're going to be cautious with their words. They're going to try to be more patient. It takes a long time for Mars and Taurus to get angry. But for some reason, I'm really picking that this Mars and Taurus stuff is all coming up to do with the past. It can be things we've heard, gossip, seeing things, a perspective, thoughts you've had, and airing the dirty laundry. So could it still come up angry? Yes, it could. Okay. There's something in the mix to do with the third party. And to me, this can even just be interferences, blockage in the past. I feel it's being directly addressed. There is something here that they're wanting to talk to you about. I'm hearing that they're hurt, that they've hurt you. And they also are feeling quite a lot of, sometimes we can't, how do you tag psychic energy? So, for these individuals particularly, it can be suddenly hearing a song. It might be the spiritual connection of really longing and missing you. You'll find when they're very 3D and they're getting a lot of things done in the physical realm, you won't feel their energy point blank zero, which is actually a compliment. It means there's movement, right? So if you haven't felt any energy at the minute, it's generally because they're physically moving things, doing things, being active. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them do get quite unwell. That's because of the burnout. I think it's moving though. I do feel we're looking at their health and diet, their self-esteem, health and diet, the way they're feeling about their bodies, the stress that the karmic situation is causing in their life. For some of them, I actually don't feel that they're having a beautiful, lovely, rosy time. I feel they're seeing it through your eyes. Unbelievable. I've got a technician that calls me. I think it was at 8 p.m. last night. Can we do a delivery tomorrow? He was supposed to call me a week ago. And I said what time I was available because I have work, right? And he decides to call me now. You call me, and this is like a divine masculine contact. 8 o'clock is a quite decent hour for a masculine to call you. It's not 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't be answering. Unless it's an emergency, you don't be answering that message at 1 o'clock in the morning. No. Because you know what it might be about. Okay, there's courage. They're getting the courage to actually deal with these things. So it's almost like this liberation. They know after they deal with it, they're going to feel so much better. But from what I'm seeing in their cards, they know what you want, okay? And they know what they need to do. They're hoping you understand. And I don't think understand. They're hoping you get that they have heard what you've said, okay? Now, feminines, you guys are trying to avoid a tower. There could be something that you need to move about. There's something in an emotional energy you're trying to deal with. You don't want to blast your masculine. You want to see some physical changes. You will be happy to wait to the hills, providing you can see a vibrational change. Okay? I want to see a physical change here. I'll be willing to dig in the dirt and get dirty. Orange is the new black, I said that to my daughter the other day. She's doing work up north and she looks very grubby. I was teasing her. Okay, so we have, oh heck, don't even be surprised if you get people from the past coming back. Okay, some of you have been just really strict on yourselves and your heart. You're like, right, I'm writing a contract with my heart and it does as it's told. It is a feeling. It doesn't care what you think. We've all been there. So there is this judgment. I think some of you are just wanting the judgment. You're like, look, just tell me where this is going. Are we yay or are we nay? Where is this going right now? It's funny, there's a lot of crown chakra coming up in the joint connection. I've got cards flying bloody everywhere. Where I'm trying to find a clarifier. What should I use for that one? Where is it? There. I want to clarify. Okay, what is this to do with, please? Yeah, you like, just can you tell me? Can you bloody tell me? Because it's in reverse when it comes to the judgment energy. You're like, we've talked about this. Okay, we have talked about this. Or you know what I need. And you actually don't know what to say. You want to hear it from them. You're almost like, okay, I think it's probably better if drama comes towards me, I say nothing because less is more. And I think you're just holding your tongue. I think you're trying to hold your cool. Because we've got the strength card here, right? And it's sun. It's like, you know, you may speak very firmly and directly in a very bold, assertive manner, but it could be ego too. So, and you know, most of us are aware of it if we're reaching, you know, pinnacle of the brink of it. You know that there's that potential that you could give somebody a bit of tongue lashing. But what you're feeling is ultimately, if this person was to come towards you and actually offer you something of substance, there'd be a lot of heart, and you do actually understand each other. So I think what the message here is between these three cards I'm looking at, there is, you know the potential. There is a connection. For some of you, there is a connection from the past coming back. For some of you, it's like, is this coming back in a similar fashion, or is it coming back the same crap, different day? Which for most of us, I think that would be impossible, to be perfectly honest. It's never been the same in my twin flame journey in 25 years. I must say that the smorgasbord at all times did have its benefits, but it definitely had its detriments, and I was a partaker in that one. So we have okay, feminines, you guys could be having a circumstance happening at home. You also could be there's almost like this feeling of you don't want drama to be dragged around towards you. You don't want drama to be coming up around you. You're sort of like, how do I explain it? For some of you, it could be their family members. You're like, look, family members don't want the drama. Don't bring them towards me. Keep them away from me. There could be some sense of conflict over maybe an inheritance situation for some of you. Okay. But it also could be, look, if you can do such for this person, and that could be more for those that say you're looking at the correlation between how they reacted inside that connection and how you directly have been treated. As far as you're concerned, you at least want that benchmark. And so if they could live inside a toxic relationship, theoretically, and there was candy cane, and there was roses, our son, my business, he said. That's funny. Okay. You can't understand, and this is coming quite okay. Two messages are coming through. One is a twin directly dealing with a family-related dynamic. You also, divine feminines, might have either a combination or a family-related dynamic. Might be that you have an older parent, but there's a family, okay, which does make sense. We've got transits and Cancer. The other subject that is coming up is to do with a connection that the person was directly in, and the individual they were with romantically or living-wise is very self-indulgent, okay? Just doesn't want to do anything, expects the world, gives minimal. Some of you may think that your twin in this circumstance is a victim. And yeah, in this circumstance, sometimes they can be, okay? Let's elaborate. I'll have to get a Runecast in a moment. So yeah, there are two major stories coming through today. If you want an individual reading, you can go to the link directly below. We still have weekends open. Get on it quick before it gets booked in. Oh, you just like, look, this. I'm also feeling that you want there. It's like we can't exactly turn time back. But at the same time, you want them to at least correct a pattern. It might be in the way that they communicate with you, how they're handling a circumstance. It also is from your viewpoint, for those of you that know about the karmic. You're just looking at it like, well, wow, you know, are you just going to live like that forever? This person treats you terribly. So there's that kind of coming through too. Okay, how are they directly going to relate to you? I do feel that actually they already know that you are a person they want to be with. I do feel this has become a little bit haunting for them over the last few weeks. I kind of get this notion that they're often daydream land when they're working. They feel that when they face you, it's a showdown. So, that, you know, are they apprehensive? Yes. They also want you to know that you can have emotions too. I'm saying that politely. Say hi to my TF. Yeah, they're what? I don't know. I just think you guys, I don't know if a fight's coming. I'm thinking maybe. I'm hoping not, because, you know, does it serve anything really? Potentially not. Upright, please, for their action. Yeah, you don't feel they're willing to make the necessary changes. Are you being pessimistic, are you? Neptune and Pisces and Juno retrograding in Pisces is going to be kicking all of our butts. I don't think it's possible, dolls. Embrace your power. Like, it's that they're going to. Like, this is a transit that is helping them go from the 12th house to the 1st house. So the self-esteem coming through with Mars is going to help them actually embrace that in a more assertive fashion, but that they're doing it logically, because there's something in the mix here. From a romantic story, there's been the Rapunzel, right? But from a 3D, it's a little bit like the logistics in a factory. Well, how are we getting the product onto the truck and to the destination and unloaded? So it's the practicality of how to move those pieces of the puzzle, not just the physical romantic story and the champagne and caviar. Do you get what I'm saying? But because Divine Feminine has waited so long, it's almost like you want this, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, because you're at your wits' ends, it can feel foggy, because you're like, unless it was this magic story you're ready to paint me, I probably won't believe you anyway, because unless I can, and you'll always know, dolls, right? You'll know because you'll hear the person's tone, you'll be privy to some information, they will share it with you, and you'll go, right, we've got the green light. You know, let's get a Runecast. And I'm going to pick these up. Excuse me, I apologise. Technical issues with the microphone, and I know I've got one here too. Oh, God. Yeah. Let's put that there. We'll get a Runecast. Okay. But yes, there's something of a contractual, and I think, you know, this is it could be karmic contractual that you guys directly are looking at the moment in the mix. There's something that is like, it's a legal binding document, or it could be, you know, the conflict with the situation. Green light means go, you know. You want to bloody hope it does. Red, you know, red light means stop. Green is heart. Can be pink too. It's like, are we going? Yes. Wait for me. Be with me. You missed something. Where'd you go? You may need to go back again. If I can find this right, there it is. In reverse. Make sure I've got the correct one. It's Mars. It's Aries. And it's in reverse. The meaning is joy. Are we misery's business? Don't hold on. Okay, joy, celebration, success, rewards, harmony, family, tribe, emotional release. I told you there's conflict here at the minute. So there's something at a 3D level. To me, I feel a tower's here. A tower's here to occur. Acceptance of the disconnect, something going away, something being shifted and moved. Disconnection, loss of faith, degeneration of social unit. Okay, something is being left because so sometimes we have to live in a circumstance to see pieces of the puzzle that aren't linking properly. And this is the joint connection, right? The other thing can be that there is a circumstance relating to accommodation changing as well as family. This could also be a relative passing. Jesus, take the wheel. Unstable connection. YouTube, what is going on with you today? When reversed, we are warned of the threat to the cohesiveness of the group. We must hold hard to what we have and worked with our fellows to keep the faith. Interconnectedness, spiritual well-being, universal family. We're doing a lot of shadow work at the moment, but some of us could be moving about. Some of us are having circumstances in our family change. But I feel also there's trying to go from one side of the path to the other in a way that is more practical logistically. Okay, so both parties in the mix are trying to map that at the moment. It's a change in the connection. I see divine masculine understands what you're needing. I feel, again, we've been asked to have faith, right? We're being asked to have faith. There is a holding pattern that divine masculine is letting go of. They are focused on you. They know where the blockage is. I do feel they also know they can't lie to you because they feel as though you just see straight through them. They know they can't come to you with let's have hanky-panky. And that's for a pocket group of you because they know that you're kind of pulling back. And they know that you are wanting so much more. Some of you might find, for those of you that are communicating at the moment, it's kind of going back and forward. And so you might have a really lovely conversation and then step away from that and go down again. And so there's something that's been cleared in a, I would say it feels in a karmic tie sense. This might have linked back all the way to 2020. So whatever the stagnancy was, whatever the status, probably 2017 even I'm seeing. So go through and have a look at 2017, 2018 rates, because we did have Chiron in Pisces back there. When I was working through my twin flame path, have a look at your zodiac signs around that time and you might get additional info. Okay, what else can I say? I do see a separation happening here. Okay, so those that are in a karmic relationship, and that can even be a marriage, right? I do see and it feels it's more conversations that they're directly having in the mix of this. Of, okay, do we see this working as a unit? Do we see that we're needing to deal with wellness here? I don't think divine masculine, especially those that maybe had what some of you deem as a toxic karmic. It might be that they were unwell or maybe had habits. This will be coming up for review as well, and there can be a conversation that is occurring in relation to this. And I don't know why there can be a judgment with wealth in the mix that was going to help that situation to sever. So I feel it's being readdressed, but the pressure cooker on divine masculines coming through. For divine feminine, you guys could have circumstances in your family shifting and changing. I feel some of you are trying to get wealth together. You're trying to get money together. Sometimes you've felt as though you've had help, but you haven't had as much help as you would have liked to have had. And what do I mean by that? It's almost like some of us could have very wealthy families, but really still had quite a hard life and not had the silver spoon, so to speak. So I feel whatever that circumstance is, it's almost like you're trying to look at the future of where your life's going to be. Some of you are wanting to go on holiday. Some of you are wanting to go have some fun, but you're kind of like on the fence and there could be something major that you're about to decide on. I feel that you're going to be fair with these individuals, but I feel you'll physically pull a tower down on people if they are messing with you. You're going to do it with love and heart. But I feel you will pull the tower down on them on purpose. Okay. I also feel some of you are feeling as though sometimes the tower is necessary for success. I'm hearing that one. Any super chats? Feel free to look at the website. We do have the masculine, feminine, and karmic out. The videos on YouTube will be out Monday for the Twin Flame edition. We cover masculine, feminine, and karmic. I am moving house, FYI. So in the mix, if you could see my house, you go, YILDIZ, poor you. I'm clearing and packing and recording and editing so that then transition for YouTube is as smooth as possible. Okay. And that way the members can get their content. If I have to, I can use my telephone, or the lives could be pre-recorded ahead of time so you don't miss one. But it's only temporary. Oh, Lord. Guess what? YILDIZ didn't bring a bloody charger in. Okay. If you have a super chat, place it up. If I miss it, I'll have to come back. I'm getting the charger. Apologies. Ooh. Goodness me. Done. Who forgets the charger? I swear computers should come with 2 chargers. I'm always recording on the go, so I've got one in that room and one in that room. Okay. Oh, God, now the dog's starting. Who let the dogs out? So we have, Angela, an update. Yeah, let's have a look, eh? I feel a potential Stella. I do. I do. Probably September, October. Anyone that's traveling, you might have some muckabouts with it. And I did mention this on my website as well as Facebook. And that was even last month I mentioned it. So just delays, really. Yeah, I think we say less. Less is more right now. No, or not saying anything at all. It's just like gaffer tape. Is this going to serve a purpose? Ooh. Okay. Giggle, are you the first one? Who is first? Angela. Okay. There's... Yeah, you're changing patterns. There's patterns changing. The sacral chakra energy through the Kundalini was quite active. You also could be looking at wellness at the moment. Old patterns and holding devices, especially at the end of the month, guys. Do not use any pacifiers at the end of the month. Astrologically, you could end up stuck with that for 15 years. Okay? If you're trying out any new things, not the month to do it. Don't do it. We have enough problems. You don't need more. Okay, so True Heart, what I'm saying is there is movement. You do know that there is movement here. You're looking at other things at the moment, though. I do feel you're looking at the bigger picture of the connection. And it's more so, okay, after the fact. I think it's funny. It's all of a sudden your thought process is not so much to do with where that person's at, but what's going to occur directly after that. Does that make sense? It's what road that will take you guys down, how that will look and how that will feel. Yes. Okay, there also could be something in the mix relating to money. We do have the, this could be, and I've mentioned this to you in your own private readings, full moon. that full moon. After that, there's something moving. But you're already picking up on it. So I feel it's something to do with, okay, getting the path moving, a chapter closing, a brand new one opening, needing to have that time and space to just reflect for a minute. So I think you're being aware of what these situations are, and I'm speaking in code out of respect. So whatever that is, emotionally, it's almost like that detox, that healing that person needs. I don't think there'll be a huge way. It's going to be a process, as it is for all of us, in a sense of healing. So you kind of do know, you're being really realistic and rational, that if that was to happen, that the heart-centered energy would be there. And also a bit of a delay. There would be movement, but I do feel, she'd be really busy. Is there drama happening there? Yes, but, nothing she can't handle, though. Absolutely nothing she can't handle. There could be a circumstance relating. It's almost like there could be a financial situation at the moment that crops up for you. It might be that you're being asked to do something and you're like, am I able to? Am I not? Try and get that out of your head. If this is a thought of can I, can't I, address that when you get to that door. That's what my guides are saying. Don't get into, try to avoid guilt, inner guilt, expectations, because it's all coming from the ethers and the astrology. It's not, I don't directly feel this is coming from the physical person. So do what you feel was correct at the time. I kind of get this feeling you want to be there, but my guides are saying if you can't, it's happening for a reason. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like it's happening for a reason for you to clear something energetically. But I do feel after that, things are moving so fast. I'm seeing like a 2-3 week turnaround. It's like bang, 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 and then you're sort of on the other side of it. That's what's being shown to me at this point relating to your connection. But I feel it's very quick. I hope that helps. Can you tell who is using an iPhone? Who, me? Cool. Glad to hear that. Not that some of the things that we get validated are good things we're thinking, but it is sort of what it is. Okay, so is it you next, Giggle? Let's see. Okay, Dawn, before you come in the house, I'll just say, for those of you that don't know, Dawn's my little radio channel. When Dawn, a patron on YouTube, jumps in the house, even before she gets her, I either know I've physically got a gem in the house or I know that Dawn has entered the building. Okay. And so for you, Giggle, what I have, and this, I don't know why this is coming through. Now, you might have a link to watching a movie with your twin, and yeah, Dawn FM, no joke. But how it's come through, I'm hearing, how cheerleaders go, let's go, baby, let's go. Why? Have you watched a movie lately, or is there, I don't know, it's like a challenge, or it's like game on. That's how it's feeling. But that is the most random, yes, Stell, that's fine. It's the most random kind of download that I've had come in. But that's the first message I've got for you, Giggle. So I'm like, that's random as heck. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Lady Rena, that's fine, doll. Okay. On this occasion, we can. I do have, and I am going to be having, the reason I provided super chats via the website was so that, which in future what I may do is actually do it private. And then if you wanted a private session and you can't afford a reading, go through. What I might do is put a list up. And so if that's something you're interested in, I'll put it out on my website, and you can get on a list. I can email you you can pay via the link, and then we can have a private session, which is cheaper than a reading, and we'll do a mini reading, and it'll be a private link via YouTube. Okay. It is. It's like, I don't know, but it felt like cheerleaders singing it. But it's like you're cheering a person on. Like, it felt like a challenge, Google. That's how it was coming through. I better get on with this because I have to return that call soon. Judgment. You're like, look, you are, Google, it's only because I know you so well. I'll just say, you're like, bring it. Bring it. What are you going to do? Don't bring your stuff. It's like you're going to, it feels like light and day. It feels like there's this, you know, cockiness. Hi, Char. It feels like there's this excited and cockiness, and it's quite playful. You're like, you need to deal with that. And I don't know if you end up sending a text message or it's very cheeky or insinuendo-y. However this is going to play out, you're not helping this person. You're challenging this person in every action you're doing. Subliminally, you don't even know it. This person is, I hate it when I channel this. Okay, this person's having dirty thoughts about you. I don't want to think about that. That's giggle. Okay, they're having these. It's like the candy cane you can't have. It's like the little puppy in the window. How much is that doggy in the window? And you're like, I really want it. And you're behind the glass. So it's like your twin is behind the looking glass. Your vibration is going to start rising. As it does, this is where the physical movement's going to come, okay? So I see it's almost like make a good choice. Okay, pick from the right cup this time. It's white and day. It's darkness and star. Which one's it going to be? Let's get a clarifier on this one. Hey, Giggle, look, I will say something that has come through for me a few times is there's a potential that could be something going on with his father. Some change. Yeah, something that you don't actually know. Could it be bad? No, concern. Something though. Something's going on there. Oh, it's so funny. It's actually saying no matter what, you're going to be quite surprised, because it's almost like, you know, when we get to a space and I say, are you ready? Are you ready? I see that there is, I've got a notch there. It's pissing me off. Where did that come from? I get this person is alone at the minute. I don't know if they're like single, but let's pull a card to see if they're single. Because I'm feeling father energy and I'm feeling twin. That's it. Did they walk away from a manipulating situation? Are they aware it's a manipulating situation? Yeah, should do. Yeah, it's cool. We can do another. Okay, so there is a change in direction, right? But I feel as though there's something in the mix currently happening and changing. I do feel there could be a conversation with the father in relation to their future moving forward and some of their things that they've been thinking about. There also could be like changes happening around that person's residence. That's for you, Giggle. Okay? Okay, who do we have next? We've got Giggle. Stella. What do you want to know, Stella? Okay, so you were saying, are you going to move? Well, I did semi-answer your question. I think you're wanting to physically, I think you're gauging where it goes, okay? So I do think there is, you'll gauge it closer to when you get, there's a potential. I do feel there's a particular individual in your life at the moment. It's almost like you want to see how the behavior is. That's what I'm getting. You want to see where the energy's at. You want to gauge where it's at. You want to know if that, you being present in that environment is going to shift the situation around. It's so funny because I feel two individuals in your lives are going to be extremely controlling and jealous. And I don't know why this is coming up, but I do see this to be, almost, it may come out of nowhere, Stella. So this for you might be, you know, observing these people become grumpy. And I don't think this is twin. I think this is other people. So whoever these people are, be it as karmic or there's two individuals in the mix who are becoming a bit more maybe ratty or grumpy. This is going to be two things, okay? This is going to be you feel by you going, it is going to give you either closure or a light bulb moment. And so that's why this is here, okay? Yes, I do think this person will have an activation. I do feel this person may, how will I explain it? Do I feel they'll be like, oh, heck, what have I done in my life? Yes. Okay. But I do feel there's a potential that will be there. But I also feel, you know, that there's also a feeling that there's a reason you're going. Like, it feels, do I feel it's necessary? No, but you also inside yourself feel it's necessary. So could it shift the thing? Yes, it's looking like it could. But I also feel it's also going to help you resolve how you feel, because, you know, how we feel when we're away from the situation is differently to how we feel when we're in front of it. Okay, let's see. So we have Lois. So went out with a new guy and he seems pretty great. Is he going to wind up being a player? Well, it's a hard one because at the moment we're going to have Juno going retrograde, the marriage asteroid. So it's already in shadow, technically. So it very similar to Venus. It generally ends up being better dealing with old situations than new situations. So everything always serves a purpose, Lois. It's how do I feel? How does that situation make me feel? And see, so yes, their blasts from the past, their belief systems can come up in the mix, and it can be that they have people come back. So it's generally, and it's for 11 lakes, so it is quite a heavy hitting transit. You also, during this time, can have different feelings that come up, similar to Venus retrograde, but heavier. But we'll have a look at the cards and see what this is going to be. They seem really nice. I just get this calm vibe, laid back, been there, done that sort of energy. You enjoy the company. You're taking your time though, okay? There could be troubles, but only because of Juno, doll. It doesn't mean you haven't started a connection. So those things in the mix of new beginnings, you know, between you and that person, you could find during that time that there's shadow work, right? Juno goes retrograde on the 24th of July. I've got a webinar on the website. We're going to have a look at singles and couples because it's going to affect everyone. It is coming up on the, I think it's on the website. It's either the 11th or the 12th. Go and have a look anyway. But with that, the cards are showing there's a connection here. The cards are showing there's, you know, maybe some hurdles. This person at a foundation level is the King of Coins. Okay, so they're gentle, they're kind, they're understanding, they're like a friend. But thanks, Giggle. But take your time. That's what they're suggesting, because there's something in the mix that is going to go a little bit different to what you think, and that potentially can be because Juno's going retrograde. So just, I wouldn't, protect yourself. Be rational. Be reasonable with a fresh situation, considering that Juno's going retrograde. Yeah. Because that person could get up in their head and you might not respond to it too kindly. Okay? So just be aware. some changes are happening, and it's up to you. And I think if anything, it's almost like, well, if I go into this, what if twin comes back? If you got that mindset, then stop putting pressure on it to be a huge commitment. Just accept it as we're going for coffee, we're going for dinner. This could go anywhere, who knows? And take the pressure off you and yourself of where you are in your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope that helps. Okay, who do we have next? Kerry. Hello, Kerry. That's okay, Lois. Yeah, just go with the flow. Think back to the way we always swap roles, guys. So where masculine was fancy free and going with the flow. Okay. We have Kerry. You're trying to have the strength at the moment. You're thinking a lot about your family. You're thinking a lot about life. You're being very courageous. You're also wondering, is this person going to have the strength to actually get out of it? Some triggers have come up. Maybe some insecurities and jealousy, which is perfectly normal as a human, but you are actually moving away from that. You have been reflecting upon the children. But you're connecting to your inner child as well. So it's almost like in your heart, you're like, you hope everyone's okay. But you're looking at your new goals. It's really funny. I literally feel like you're in between two worlds at the moment. It's like it's the old world and it's the new world. And it feels sad, like you're saying goodbye to a friend, but it's not. So your mind can feel that you're pulled in two directions. I do feel you do have a group of people at the moment that are giving you their opinions. This could be hindering you at the moment. You're also a little bit concerned from maybe some of the statements that they're making. And you just got to understand, guys, at the moment collectively, with transits happening in Gemini, and this has got nothing to do with Gemini being a bad sign, the transits and correlating with it is causing gossip and conflict and projection. And that's because that was their story, but it's not your story. So unless you ask them for advice, tell them to put that advice where the sun don't shine, okay? Because you're giving, usually if a trigger occurs, it's because you directly believe it. And so you have to sit with your emotions and say, why am I listening? Why do I feel that is true? Because you're hurt from, hey, I gave so much and I was taken for granted. But then it was like, but we now don't give so much. We give what we feel. And think of it as this. The story of where it was is not the end and nor the beginning. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it was. So people are saying you were, because why do we do this? Why do friends do this? Why do family members do this? You're the victim, okay? I empathize and I resonate with you. I've been where you've been. And it's like, well, that's all great and well, but crap happens, right? And, we don't get our dirty laundry out of the drawer every day and go, can you see them? Do you have an opinion on that? And so sometimes it's unnecessary, but it's because it's a little bit like if somebody passes, what do you say? Of course, your friends are going to side with you. And sometimes those are things that you need to actually look at. It is a compliment, but it's like, I've got this. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Let's get off the subject and talk about something more refreshing. So you're kind of feeling that you're not completely vibing with them. Yeah, you're just like, but you are thinking a lot, right? You're thinking a lot. You're wondering how it's all going to go. You're wondering if they're going to get out of their way and be able to, and this is more your love interest, if they're going to be able to get out of their way and actually make a decision. Let's pull an astrology card. I kind of pick up that maybe they're having a little bit of drama at the moment. And yes, could we presume and say that the way things were handled was immature by love interest? Yes, 100%. Okay, so at the moment, I feel we've got the card of Sagittarius there. And to me, because Juno is going to be in Pisces, I kind of get, you could be going through the rabbit hole, and, you know, from point A to point B, that retrograde is where the transformation is going to happen. So I think especially for those twins or people that got into a relationship during Venus retrograde, this is the second siren. This is the second siren of going, is it what you thought it was? No. So I'm being shown that it'll be around that time during the retrograde. That's something in the mix is shifting. That's what I'm saying at the minute, Carrie. But I do feel ultimately you're going back and forward. You're getting a lot done. I do feel with all the intellectual cards coming up, it could be studying, working, bookkeeping. I do feel you do have some friends that do want to tee you up with somebody. And yeah, I'm also seeing an event where you could be having like a fire, a glass of wine. This could be like a gathering. And you may receive a phone call at that time. So take it how it lands. I hope that helped. Hi, Char. How are you doing, Char? Dawn. Well, Dawn, what I pick up is when you get in the house. As I mentioned before. That's okay, Carrie. You'll be really productive, though. But, yeah, I just see a real ambient night. It looks like starlight, maybe on a farm or at a person's house. Could be a restaurant even. I'm telling you, I was like, as soon as you come in, 5 minutes before I was thinking about you, and I'm like, Dawn's coming. Your guides mixed with me, girl. Only because they have the best sense of humour. I just love your guides. Oh, I just want to hang out and party with them. Okay. Yeah, you could be, overall, your intuition is growing. I'd say your psychic energy is maybe even growing. You might not, you're on your P's and Q's, you're getting things done. You could be getting a little bit up and down. You may get a little bit frustrated with your counterpart. Because kind of the stories he's telling you aren't really matching. So you're sort of looking at it like, but you're integrating at the moment. Look, the one thing I can say, one large message that's coming through is there's something inside your gift at the moment that is changing. So at times your intuition's going to be there completely, and then it's going to kind of polar swap because it feels there's some sense of an integration coming through at the moment, and it's really... It's coming through scrambled. Do you get what I'm saying? But it feels as though the heightening of it is going to be there. So when you're dealing with anything at the moment, if you're getting tunnel vision, it's just going to shut it down and then it's going to come back up again. So I feel it's a little bit pixelated. What you need to do when you're dealing with the integration of your gifts is roll with it. Don't try to make complete sense of it. Your guides are going to give you the information. It's a process of elimination. But I feel it's almost the sixth senses are being fine-tuned. You are, because your ego is getting involved, Dale. So sometimes, especially with channeling, for instance, what you need to do is have a conversation with the person. Just get really comfortable. And you'll just be talking away and you're basically it's a little bit like, could we say a therapy session? Yeah, it's a relaxing conversation. It's having a chat with a person, just talking. And once you calm down and you're doing the, bang, you're going to get the first message. When that comes in, it could be pineapple, and you're going to keep hearing it. You're going to go, that's really, and it'll just be a really random thought. You'll be like, okay. Now, the key to it is when you grab that, you then need to ask that question, and it will be you learning how your guides talk to you and then how to ask those questions. And you have to almost not be embarrassed. So it can come through when you're really establishing it that you feel really stupid in the questions you're asking. But it's because you're tuning into your guides and how they communicate. And so it kind of looks like a process of elimination. And then, so pineapple comes through, right? And then, yeah, I know. Well, pineapple means hospitality and, other things anyway. So then there's going to be, you say that thing. Okay, what does this mean to you? You can say to this person. And they go, wow, that's really random, bloody, bloody, blah. Bang, you're in. But that's the key. Do you understand? So your guides need to acknowledge the fact that that person is saying, yes, that's okay, and it unlocks it, and then you're in. And once you're in, you can start channeling that person, but it is permission-based. So sometimes the blasted things will block you. And so you then have to ask that question too, are you blocking me? Okay, what do you, lower your guard. Okay, we need to do this. I know you're worried. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, one large message that's coming through is this, and this also could be affecting your twin flame path at the moment, of your confidence within your gifts and your abilities and thinking you won't be loved, you won't be accepted, you're misunderstood. You need to learn to love yourself. It's not about your twin. It's about who you are as a person. It's about loving yourself and just, they generally won't admit that they're bloody shit scared that you can read them, but it's also respect not to. You psychically do have that gift anyway, but it's about understanding that what they need to hear from you, and then they won't be so projectile, is I wouldn't dare read you. It's not my business. If you ask me a question, of course I will advise, but it's for you to deal with that side of the fence. So it's not, you don't pick up on these things, but it's the reason he's pushing back is because he feels that you're, I probably can't say the word on YouTube, but it's like you're desiccating his privacy. And nobody wants, they already know that the X-ray vision is there. And there's shame, there's guilt, there's fear. And they already know that you know them. You don't need to mention it. So I hope that helps. Don't get paranoid that this person's, because they're talking shit. Okay? That's what I have for you, my love. Also that it's not as you think it is, but just enhance your gifts. The connection, as per se, is going through a change. Thanks, Giggle. Irene. Oh, I keep saying Irene. This screen's so small. Lady Rena. I hope I got that right. I'm ADHD, forgive me. And also know approximately 3 languages, technically. Although Giggle was talking the other day and I could understand what she said. And I can't speak it. But that's because a lot of languages do bounce into different, Yes, I can hear and understand what people are saying. What do we want to look at, lady? Oh, who are you dealing with? Ooh. Lady Rain, who are you dealing with? Somebody has it in for you. What have you done? You know the first song, and it's really funny because this one song came up. This feels like a karmic individual. This is somebody who's really bloody jealous of you. They are scared of you. I don't know how. You're going to have to tell me. This person, there is a person around you that you underestimate. That's okay, Dawn. I hope it helped. This person, whoever it is, they feel inferior. Like they feel, and you might be feeling the same, but I feel that this person is very jealous of you. It does feel like a feminine energy, very insecure of you. Who is this female? Do you know who this female is? What my guides are showing me is that you're going to get success in something. This could be at work. This could be within a romantic connection. This could be, like a sister or like a person's mother. But it is a female energy. There is a female energy. I'm not at all getting, whenever I get this card, it's the Queen of Wands. I do tend to get a karmic energy. I don't get with your vibration that you're, I think sometimes you think you don't have a lot of confidence. It is positive. It is positive. But this is like, I think you underestimate your abilities and therefore you can tend to attract people that are quite jealous to you, right? Because you don't look at it that way. You kind of get in and you do your work. You do have a very loving heart. So you really apply yourself. And I think if this is a work situation as well, I think that, the people see you. people see you and your light, and they think you're very good. Relating to a romantic situation, again, I do see success here. I see luck, I see success, but I also feel this confidence in you that's going to come through. My guides are showing me that you're assured a blessing. And I don't know what your direct, I think I'm sensing there's 3 things at the moment that you're dealing with. And it's going to do really well. It's almost like you're not quitting on a circumstance. And so you're going to reap those rewards. I just feel you've got so much coming that's really good. You mustn't think of yourself as less. You've got some luck coming in. Look, financially, you do have luck coming in as well. Lots of money. Like this could be sudden rags to riches. Okay, what is the subject relating to a separate energy? Are you in a connection? Is this a person who's separate? Like, where are you in the logistics of a romantic connection? Because my guides are showing me there's going to be a positive connection. That could be that you're coming through like this, but what you're not understanding is no boyfriend. Well, that's coming to an end. Okay, that's where you stand, but you're moving into glory through all these cards. I feel it's almost like, okay, I'm taking myself forward. I don't think you're going to be single for long, Dale. You are focused on wealth and maybe business. You're being selective of the people you mix with, but people generally are jealous of you because you actually have a beautiful light, and because you do have, it's almost like sometimes even animals and people can sense it, is that celebrity energy is there. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's something very lucky coming here in your life that you totally are not seeing. So what you have to understand is if people have reacted to you really poorly, it's because they're jealous of you. If you've had a separation, it's now helping you find your purpose. But ultimately, I don't see you being single. Okay? That's what I've got. Feel free to ask a question before I hit the road to the next person, if you want any clarifier on that. But I do feel money, career, changes, definitely. My guides are also saying trust. Bring people into your life. The right people will come into your life, but you need to let people in, because you're going to get bored. They educate us. If I feel more people around you in the coming months, it felt good. You have to have courage in yourself. You're going to find a way. There's Lady Luck here. It could be looking for a different job. There feels there is wealth coming, and it does feel positive. This could even be a lottery. I can't financially advise you, but from the 3 cards that were there, Lady Luck is there. But it's also asking you to change. Sometimes when we tune into it too much, I was like, oh my God, where's it going to be? Where's it going to be? We're actually pushing the finances away. Whereas if we change it around, do some heart chakra clearing, and I would do the lower chakras. You'll probably find at the moment your lower chakras are blocking it due to conditioning, and it's shadow work that you're potentially doing due to your childhood. So if you look at the finances that maybe your family dealt with, you're probably purging that cycle. Okay? Yeah, get the vibe up, Dale. Get the solar plexus and sacral chakra balanced. Yeah, and have that faith, because it's that's pushing it away. Look at what you do have control over, not what you don't. But yes, you do have wealth there. You're looking at wealth creation, and you're pouring your energy into it. Don't look outside yourself. Look in. And even if it's small steps, even if it's applying for a different job, do it. Start, and then it'll take the pressure off you. You'll stop thinking about it, and wealth will come in, whatever that be. Okay, who do we have next? Char. Last but not least, start. Yes, get going, get with it, especially this month. Especially by the end of the month, the 31st is great for starting new projects, side hustles. Get going, be creative, think outside the box, apply for those jobs. Lots of bills for all of us coming in. That's okay, sweet. Have faith in yourself. Char, you're still coming through, funky lady. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean it as amusing. I'm hearing the term devil wears Prada, except I'm literally seeing chart in, you're still going to do your bloody hair. I'm telling you, I literally see you've still got this smoldering, brooding kind of frequency coming through. It kind of feels a little bit like, I wouldn't say Lady Gaga. It's more than that. It's extra. I mean, it's extra. You're getting your Venus on. I'm seeing hair, makeup, style. You're being really assertive with the family. People aren't really recognizing you. You're kind of freaking them out, Char. You're just all this vivaciousness. And I just don't think people are getting you. I think your kids also are looking at you like, is this a friggin' midlife crisis? What's going on here? No, this is a permanency. This is a residency. You're being extra. Mama has spoken. I'm literally feeling if your twin turned up, he'd probably freak out. He's like, this is not the old chart. She ain't going to take my shit. She's not going to take nothing lying down. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I think this is a new you. It's been a really beautiful rebirth for you. Do you miss them? Yes, you do. But there's something in you that has completely, ultimately changed. And it's almost like, I think it's a little bit like Greece. You know, and you go from sandy to the leather matrix. That's what I'm seeing. And I just think he's walking and he's like, wow. Yeah, I think he'd have a bit of a surprise there. Okay, this is random. I'm seeing him wearing a leather jacket. Does he have, like, he does dress really quite nice. Like, he is quite neat. But sometimes I'm seeing that he mixes products. Do you get what I'm saying? Like his fashion sense. Like it's neat and then a throw over jacket. Yeah. So you guys just really do match that Greece story that I'm seeing. So I think he's changing too. I think his dress sense, he's going back to, and it's funny because I feel that when he was in the karmic relationship, inside this karmic relationship, I don't necessarily feel that he was exhibiting his own fashion sense. I don't know how this turned into a fashion show, Char. Please explain. Now I'm seeing he's finding his own personal identity and he's going back to the vibration of who he is. But there's chemistry between you. I'm just hearing all these songs relating to the devil in disguise, and there could be something quite major that happens. Are you going in for major changes? What are you doing, woman? Are you going to have it's like beautifying, maybe getting your hair and makeup done? Could be something to do with could be Botox. But it feels a change. I'm hearing, so these are the songs for you. R.I.P. to the girl I used to be, like by Rita Ora. I'm hearing Devil Wears Prada. Oh, you got some sassy guides coming up. Where the connection stands, I just feel I'm hearing the term girls just want to have fun. Yes, you do care, but you're like, I am the high priestess. You wish you were here. See, all these songs, you're going to go to a party. I feel you're going to go to a social event or you're in the social event. This is actually bringing and attracting a romantic interest in. You may need to be careful of your surroundings because we can actually attract people at the moment, divine feminines. And I do feel there is a love opportunity coming here, but you're like, I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to have fun. Can you leave me alone? Now, as for your twin, I just get, when he sees you, I think he's going to be floored. And I think you kind of know this, chart. I think to the core you actually know that, yes, pardon me, you miss, you want, you know the process, but have to be a connection moving. I do feel the family's talking to them at the minute. They could be in communication. But you're like in your bliss. You're moving to your bliss, your focus. It's like I said, it's not you don't miss them, but you also feel that by the time they do see you, they're probably going to be really shocked because you have changed. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, I know. Even with tech issues. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks, Giggle. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. If you want a private booking, you can go to the website. We have the Juno webinar coming up. Don't miss out on it. Limited spaces. And I'll see you in the Members Hub probably today and in the week. Take care.